Okay, well, welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can tell with my background, I'm not home. I'm actually up in Michigan. My wife, Mena, is actually in South Africa. So obviously, she's going to be coming on the screen very soon. There she is. There's my beautiful wife. So we are dividing and conquering. So I'm at my brother's home here up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I went to University of Michigan and graduated in '92, and I'm going to be going to the Michigan-Ohio State game, which is, for those of you in South Africa, it's like the biggest rugby thing. So it's here, it's college football, which is very, very cool. So we want to welcome everyone. Obviously, be sure to invite everyone, text everyone, say, hey, we're getting started. Because some people think we're not having meetings this week. No, we have meetings this week, even though Thanksgiving is going on here in the United States, because we have an international team and not everybody celebrates Thanksgiving. So I'm going to hand off to my wife and she'll kind of kick it off and kind of go over some disclaimers because she's the attorney of the group. And then we'll get started and kind of go over a little more about the opportunity.
So yes, hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. It is rainy here in South Africa, a lot of rain, but we're nonetheless are out there and doing what we need to do to get this amazing information out to everybody. And you know what? We're pretty excited about what's going on right now because a lot of us are seeing some great things happening. And what we want to do this evening is share with you this amazing technology, a little bit about the company as well as the founder and inventor, and then also the opportunity. Now, if you're on here and you're just not interested in the opportunity, but you want to find out about the product, you're more than welcome to stay on. And you know what? Stay on till the end because we're going to be hearing some testimonies as well. We're going to be hearing some people sharing as well as showing you what it means to go out there and share with people. So I welcome you on here. If you're here for the first time, make sure you get back with the person that invited you. Also, we are not medically trained. We are not here to tell you that the product will cure, mitigate, and do any miracles. But you know, in the 3 years that we've been involved with this company, we see nothing but miracles happening. So we may not tell you that it's going to cure anything, but we're seeing so many great results. So we're excited. If you've invited someone to be on here and you don't see them on, please send them a message because you do not want them to miss out. But thank you once again for being with us this
Awesome.
afternoon.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick off with a quick video, but I'm going to first kind of share a little bit about my background. I've been a business consultant for over 30 years, working with business owners, helping them save money on operating expenses and taking that money, put in creative marketing for the past 10 years, working with companies specifically on digital marketing, because obviously that's a big trend. Fortunately, with this business, I've been able to develop this business with my wife all over the world. We now have business in 41 countries, but we weren't expecting to do this business. But when my friend told me about this patch, I knew that I had challenges. He knew I had challenges. He didn't realize how severe they were, but actually had a car accident back in 2016 where someone failed to use their brakes. They plowed in the back of my car and actually totaled my car, damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. My whole life changed that day. Next thing you know, chiropractic, acupuncture, acupressure, CBDs, essential oils, supplements, everything I tried to do to mitigate the challenges I had. And then I injured my knee on 9/11/2021, where a bunch of us went up a five-story building 18 times to represent the amount of stairs the firefighters climbed at 9/11. Well, it was a great exercise. We had 100 people there with all these firefighters, but I slipped and tripped and injured my knee, and then months later developed hip pain. So all I know is I had five areas of challenges in my body and main challenges besides other things that were going on. And my friend told me about the stem cell activation patch. I said, I'll try anything. 3 days later, no knee pain, no hip pain, no shoulder pain, no neck pain, no back pain. I'm like, what in the world is this? How does this work? And Lily looked at all the videos, the information, and for 2 hours researched it. And after 2 hours, I felt like hit by lightning. I'm going, oh my gosh, this is real. This is like real. This is, oh my gosh, we're gonna change the world type real. Now we got business, like I said, in 41 countries around the world, and we can't stop sharing this with people. I was sharing with people this morning in Ann Arbor when I was working out at LA Fitness here locally, and they're very interested in the product as well because most people don't know about this, so it screams opportunity. So we're gonna share a quick video with you real quick that explains a little bit more about this. In 3 minutes, it explains more like I could probably explain in 30 minutes. So I'm going to play this first video, but if you haven't patched, you're going to ask the person who invited you, how do you elevate copper peptides to activate your stem cells to regenerate your body? You're going to find out about this real quick. So here's a great video.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything. A patch, no bigger than a quarter, built not to treat symptoms, but to wake up the healer Inside you, this is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world? It's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisitinfo.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. Because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results. Income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself and, even better, to benefit from other people's efforts. So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, the income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? The This Is It action plan will set you on a path to live out the dreams you have for your family. Get back with the person who shared this video so you can experience the age-reversing health and the exciting lifestyle that thousands are already enjoying. This is the technology, this is the team, and this is your moment. This is it.
Awesome. So the one thing that we obviously take a look at is the technology, look at the company, as you heard about David Schmidt. Over 200 patents. He's just received a new award we'll talk about in a minute, but it's amazing the thing that's going on. So he's the CEO inventor of the X39. So again, he's a scientist and an inventor, and he specializes in age reversing. I'm like, thank God for people like that, right? It's pretty amazing. So in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research, and this one product, the X39, took 10 years. $4.5 million worth of research and development to come out with this one product. And I know for myself, when I started getting results, I started seeing different things. I told my wife, I said, you've got to check this out. And she was like, don't even think about it, not interested. But I sent her the information and she checked out the patent, and that's when things kind of changed a little bit when she saw that.
So yes, my background is law, and I was really, really skeptical. I wanted absolutely nothing to do with this. I thought it was a big hoax, and I was not going to participate at all. But Greg's results were undeniable. In 3 days, I mean, he stopped moaning and groaning. I had heard him moan and groan for 6 years nonstop, and now all of a sudden that all just changed. I was like, this cannot, I mean, it's undeniable. Something's definitely going on here. At that point in time, I decided, you know what, I'm going to just take a look at this website that we had, and I did, and I was surprised to find that it's patented technology. And you know, being a qualified attorney, I understand a lot of my colleagues specialize in registering patents, and I understand that you don't register a patent unless you actually prove that the product is one of a kind. You also cannot have these statements or make these statements in this particular document, which is a legal document, if you have not proved that they in fact do happen. So I took a look at this and I saw some things in here that I actually really liked. And I thought, my goodness, if this can happen for me, I would be very happy. And so this particular paragraph actually indicates some of the stuff that it says. It says here that you can wear this product anywhere on the human body and it causes a beneficial effect by providing phototherapy to the human body. Now, I didn't really understand phototherapy, but I heard about light therapy. And what it does, it elevates copper peptide, including activating of our stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvement in stamina, elevation of collagen production. That was quite interesting for me, and improved wound healing. And, inflammation and collagen production are two things that caught my attention. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. I have fear of missing out, FOMO, and I was going to get on board, and I'm glad I did. So why X39 stem cell activation patch? Okay, because stem cells make up every organ in our body. I thought it was just about hair and skin, but it's actually everything about our body. And as we age, our stem cells become dormant. And at 30, only 50% of our stem cells are active. I was like, oh my goodness, okay. So I better get on board quickly. At 60, less than 10% of our stem cells are active. And so that's the reason why we need X39.
Absolutely. And so what's interesting is that's obviously there's opportunity happens by creating solutions. That's what happens. You think about obviously cell phones, all these kind of things. These were all created to create solutions for us, and our whole life has changed. So the current problem is to solve. Basically, no one knows their stem cells are going dormant. I didn't know that. 99% of the people, I think I've ran into one person that knew that, basically that same thing. So what does LifeWave offer? Stem cell reactivation. And the second thing, so many people are struggling financially. So we also offer income generating business. And to me, that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit. And that was absolutely huge. So how X39 works is pretty simple. It's a form of phototherapy. So, we live in the Sunshine State. Mena lives in South Africa, which has a lot of sunshine. Michigan yesterday, not so much today. But anyway, when the sun comes out, it hits our skin, which is basically, our biggest organ in our body, which elevates things in our body. So when the sunlight hits our skin, it elevates vitamin D. So most people know that we get vitamin D from the sun, but it's not pushing out vitamin D, it's pushing out a frequency of light. So we emit light 24/7, 365. If I put on night vision goggles, we glow in the dark, right? So what this has in here is patented nanocrystal technology. That's one of the other patents that they have, and that's got no drugs, no chemicals or stimulants, but it reflects our own light to activate. So I would say, imagine our light going out. As soon as we peel and stick and put this patch on, now what happens, and I'll show you real quick. This is pretty simple. It's right here. It looks like a little wafer, but it's a peel and stick. If you've ever used an actual Band-Aid before, that's all it is, right? This here, and I'm going to put it right here just to show you, just for demonstration purposes. I normally put it on the back of my neck, but this is basically how it works. You put it on, so now it's reflecting my own light and activating the copper peptides that activate our stem cells in our body, reducing inflammation, increasing collagen levels. So it's non-transdermal. Nothing's going in the body. I could put it on the outside of my shirt if I ever wanted to, and it's non-invasive. So, Mena, you want to read the little disclosure at the bottom because she's the attorney.
I don't see the slide.
You don't see the slide? Where it says at the bottom here that LifeWave products are not. You don't see it.
No, are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease.
Or medical conditions. So I joke around because my wife's an attorney. She's got to read all the medical disclosures. So go ahead and talk about the benefits.
So the benefits of X39, I got pretty excited to see all of these benefits because we were experiencing them ourselves. And, I saw increased strength, which I definitely have experienced, reduced inflammation. I have more mobility in my hands. There was a time that my fingers were so stiff at the joints and I couldn't do this kind of thing easily. And now that has changed, increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity, restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improved sleep is a big one for me. After many years, my sleep has improved dramatically. To the point that, if you don't sleep every single night and you go to bed and you stare at the ceiling and pray that you fall asleep, and when you do fall asleep, eventually any little bit of noise wakes you up. Well, that's the way I was living my life. And about a week and a half into using the X39, I slept right through and I woke up the next morning wondering what on earth happened to me. And it has been that way for the last 3 years. I feel so blessed because I never knew that that could ever happen for me. Improved skin appearance, we're seeing that a lot, and people are beginning to say, my goodness, you glow, your skin is so, without any blemishes and stuff like that. We're seeing that with everybody, absolutely everybody. So, I would say, like David Schmidt is saying, it's all about achieving optimal health. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being.
Yeah, and we could have pages and pages of slides like this. Let's just highlight some of the different things, all the different benefits. There's a lot more than just this alone. It's pretty amazing.
So the long-term results per case studies on This Is It Info. And if you haven't looked at thisisit.info.com, take that website down because you want to go take a look at all of this. For the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. And we hear from a lot of people the first few days that they're using this product, they say, oh my gosh, my energy levels. Well, you know what? If 4,000 genes, which is a third of all your genes, is resetting like you rebooted computer, no wonder you're going to feel that added energy. Your brain becomes balanced, collagen increases. We also already saw that in the patent. And it's your own collagen. You're not taking powders or any of that. And your heart reverses in age. And David says it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that Meta talked about the genes being resetting. There's other supplements, other things that people take. Like you think about resveratrol that's in red wine. That also resets genes. And a lot of people put that in their product and they call it a hero product. Well, that resets 2 genes. This resets 4,000. So a little bit of a difference there. That's why people notice such a huge difference utilizing our product here. So how we wear the X39, very, very simple. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So once again, we wear it for 12 hours. So I put it on at 9 o'clock in the morning. I just put mine on just now. But again, I usually put it on 9 o'clock in the morning. I put it on a little bit later because I was working out and doing a bunch of things this morning. But when you put it on, it elevates, activates, and regenerates your body like we talked about. It elevates copper peptides, activates stem cells, regenerates your body. Then you're removed for 12 hours so your body can rest, repair, and rejuvenate. A couple places they show here is on the back of the neck, another place is below the belly button, but you can put it on anywhere. Like I put it here. As soon as I put it on, it starts working immediately. But some people don't notice differences, right away. Some people notice them. They're like one patch wonders. I just patched some the other day. The very first day, he's like, oh my gosh, my shoulder doesn't hurt like it normally does. He goes, this is amazing. What's in this thing? So it's pretty awesome. The other thing they mentioned is drink lots of good water. So once again, we always recommend if you have purified water, recommend adding minerals to it, specifically electrolytes. If you have spring water, still add minerals, and because we don't have the minerals in our water that we used to have, obviously, we don't have the minerals in our food like we should. So a lot of people are mineral deficient. So obviously, adding this will help you detox because your body goes into a detox, getting rid of all the inflammation, a lot of other toxins and things like that too. So the testimonies of X39 are emotional and life-changing, and we have literally thousands of testimonials. And I'm just going to highlight a couple things here real quick, and I'm going to play a quick video that explains a little bit more from one of the people that we work with. And so what's cool about this is that, and it came out. I love how this happens. So give me a second here. Matt, if you want to talk about maybe a little bit more about your testimonies, because you've had a little more things than that, but you removed them.
Yeah, so I moved to the States, like 14 years ago, and my move to the States, I was a little surprised because everything went wrong. I mean, just my whole body, this whole reaction of what was started to happen for me. I had a lot of allergies. My hands I couldn't even put them in water. They were full of blisters. It was so uncomfortable, to the point that they would like burn, like really, really fire hot. And so it was almost like I had a fever going on in my hands with all these terrible blisters, and I couldn't do anything. And it was really ugly. I used to want to hide my hands away. But in any event, I was in and out of a dermatologist's office trying to get some stuff. I was also looking for drops for eyes because my eyes were constantly itchy, and there was so much going on. I was miserable the first few years. And, I tried everything. I mean, I was always given new prescriptions, new things, steroids, the whole lot. And, it would give me a little bit of relief, but then things would start coming back again. And, ever since, and honestly, I am so amazed. Like my eyes don't itch anymore. My hands are completely clear. No more like eczema type of stuff, all the blisters and so on. And, I also have had a really big keloid scar tissue from an operation like, I don't know, maybe 30 years ago. And it was there, it was ridged, it was like significantly ridged. And I did not even know that had disappeared until a doctor asked me, does this help with keloid scars? And I actually looked to see if it did, and it was gone, completely flat and almost invisible. That was the first time I noticed after like maybe 2.5 years of using the patch.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And so that's like and I could go on and on and on. In fact, we're putting together slides now that kind of explain all the different things. And I recommend you doing the same thing because we've seen some huge differences in ourselves. And so other people are saying like, well, are doctors using this? Yes, I can go over that. I'm going to show a quick video in a second of 4 different doctors. But here's Dr. Adam Shiner, who's actually a plastic surgeon, especially in laser eyelid facial plastic surgery. And so he said the normal surgery he does usually takes 6 to 8 weeks, so a month and a half to 2 months for recovery. He started basically sending people a sleeve before the actual, so the sleeve is 30 patches, so it's a 30-day supply, so 30 days prior to his procedures, and people are now recovering 7 to 10 days. He said, if you want to work with me as a plastic surgeon, you must use this patch. If you know any plastic surgeons, we need to talk to them, right? There's another doctor, actually, we're going to hear him talk in a minute. Basically, Dr. Leland Stillman, he's an expert in light therapy. So he's actually on the website. If you go on This Is It Info and go to the 5th video down, watch his interview. He was the first thing he said is like, what's this little tiny patch going to do? And then when he researched, realized it's low-level stimulation of light therapy compared to high-level stimulation he does with red light therapy beds and all these other things, where people go in 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time, where this is 12 hours a day, low-level stimulation, right? So he was blown away when he started using those patients. Now he's like, if you want to work with me, you must use this patch. So this is just an example of a couple people. But again, we have before and afters, and we've got thousands of these. But this is an example, of day 1, day 42, day 355. So basically, look at, a year later, what does she look like? Do you notice a difference there? Now do you notice a difference? This is an updated photo. If you look at the difference there, if you don't notice the difference between this one, and this is not AI generated, this is not anything else, these are real photos, and we tell people try to take pictures with the same kind of background, same kind of thing, so you can get a better idea of what things happen. I challenge everybody to get pictures of yourself and take pictures 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, down the road. It's amazing. Here's another person actually was working in the rafters, doing some things in the ceiling. Basically, fell through the ceiling, broke 6 ribs, punctured his lung. They said he wasn't going back to work for a minimum of 6 weeks. He was back to work within 3 weeks. Why? Because he was using the patch. Look at the recovery time. Look at the dates here. That's basically less than 2 weeks difference. So he's back to work within 3 weeks. I show this to doctors all the time, and they're like, that's not normal. I'm like, yeah, it is when you're wearing the patch. It's pretty amazing. People have, like, again, skin conditions, like Mena mentioned, all kinds of different issues. And again, it's not just the collagen, but the stem cells repairing, which makes a big difference. So you look at the differences here. We got people like things like with vertigo. Here's a guy within 3 months, the difference. I have a gentleman I just met last week, and he wants to buy the product because he's been suffering from vertigo for 15 years. He said he's looking at other surgeries and other things. He's tried all kinds of different stuff. Nothing has helped. So he said, if this helps, he goes, that would be amazing. He's also connected to a lot of veterans. So he said he wants to do it too. So Mena, I'll maybe share about our good friend with her hair condition.
I hope you can hear me. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yeah.
Okay, because we have a major storm happening.
Oh,
Anyway,
wow. Okay.
so this is a good friend of mine, Eleni, and she has had alopecia for many years now. We're not going to give diagnosis, but you can see the baldness there, and her hair was not growing back. And she was wearing hats and wigs to cover that up and used every type of potion, lotion, steroid injections in her head. And when we found out about this particular product, I thought to myself, I wonder if this will help her. But I mean, I didn't go out there and say, use this, it will help you. I showed her the website, and she took a look at it for herself, and she said, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I'm going to use it. You can see for yourself the before and after, the hair growth. She's ditched her hats, she's ditched her wigs, and she's forever grateful that I shared this with her.
Absolutely, it's amazing. And so you look at another person here, actually a good friend Graham, who's on here right now. He's got a friend that actually tried the product because he had severe Parkinson's, and you can see that when we talked to him, he actually we have the video thing and share more of what he was like. But now he's actually water skiing. Now again, we can't make any promises, but he's living his best life. He honestly said he didn't want to live any longer because everything was so bad. He could barely feed himself. He could barely do anything anymore. He couldn't even hold a pen to sign his own name. And so he said now he's actually doing things. So you can see their LifeWave patches, and with the grace of God, we live daily in awe of miracles in our lives. It's pretty amazing. And so last one I'll share is again, here's someone who talked about blood pressure. She was testing her husband, and this is just 2 days later. So once again, his blood pressure basically, look at it here, consistently 226, 108, 216, 107, 215, 107. You look here, 2 days later, look at the difference here. So one of the things we talk about, once again, the difference on this 170 over 85 is much better than 226 over 108, right? And so again, I tell people try these things. You'd be amazed at sugar levels, all kinds of different stuff. So I'm going to play a quick video from Danny McDaniel. He interviewed 4 different doctors. It's about an hour-long interview, but we took just the last 4 minutes of basically their summary, why this patch. So check this out. It's pretty awesome.
Dr. Dodge, what about you? What makes this special?
I think really echoing that, this is the most powerful piece of medical technology I've come across in my practice, and that's over 20 years. So I think being able to reverse and see the testimonies of reversal of aging, reversal of disease that are otherwise untreatable, or that people and other doctors even give up on, this is new hope. It's new hope in the form of a patch that is so simple to offer if you're a healthcare professional, but you don't even have to be. A friend or a family member can begin to offer this to other friends, family members. So harnessing the power of the stem cells really in your pocket, and transforming your life in such a simple but profound way.
It's great. Dr. Stillman?
The funny thing is, I think the most compelling thing that I get every day from this is just the testimonials. And like some of the other doctors have said, it's just such an incredible opportunity for people to be part of the healing process, and for the amount of effort that we've put in as doctors to be able to help people. For you to be able to walk around with this in the palm of your hand, it's just an incredible, incredible blessing for you all to be able to help people like this. Because I can tell you, I know what it's like to get results like we see on the patch in my practice. Without the patch, it's a lot of work and effort, and it isn't just $100 a month. So when people pass this up, who I recommend it to, I just think they're totally nuts. They have no idea what they're missing. So enjoy it. Be glad that you got on board.
Very great. Dr. Fitch?
The best way I can say is that this is the most affordable, sexiest, easiest way to get into the stem cell world. So for as low as $99 a month, you turning your stem cells back on, carrying the sun around in your pocket to just wake your body up is just an amazing ability. Medicine will always be there to save the farm, to save the body from completely crashing, but that's not the state that most of us operate in. Most of us operate in a state of chronic inflammation day by day, and we need some kind of chronic ability to combat and buffer against that. And this is by far one of the easiest and most transparent ways to do it.
Thank you, Dr. Fitch. Dr. Joe, last words.
I just think this is the most remarkable opportunity that's ever come along in my lifetime to this point, for your health, for your finances. If you choose to work it as a business. I got both my boys involved because they're just finishing up their college careers, and I told them this is better than a 401k or a Roth IRA. I've heard you say, Danny, it's like buying stock in Walmart in 1980. I think it's better than that. I think there's no comparison. And for those that are just willing to try it, they're not going to be disappointed, and they're going to quickly want to share it with others. So I share that piece with almost everyone that I introduced the patch to.
Fantastic. That's well said. Appreciate you, Dr. Joe.
It's awesome. So you look at some people, again, this is just a sampling. There's so many people that are taking a look at this. We have another doctor that's getting involved. He's a triple board certified cardiologist. I mean, we got all kinds of people that are like, this is the most amazing thing we've ever seen. So you can go to thisitsitinfo.com. At the very top, you basically click on the patents and studies. You can also click on the testimonials. But when you scroll through, you'll see the first 4 videos are each 3 minutes long, but they explain more about this. We played the very first video earlier when we started. But take a look at Dr. Liv Stillman. Take a look at the medical doctor section in the bottom, take a look at the patents, and you can go to pubmed.gov, and the link there goes directly to where they have over 158 case studies on GHK copper peptide since the 1970s. So they've been studying this forever. They call the holy grail of anti-aging. They said if you could elevate copper peptides on a regular basis, the GHK copper peptide, your body will get younger and younger. I'm like, exactly. It's kind of cool. So it's pretty cool what happens. So what's great about this is, again, the company itself has been growing like crazy. So Mena, is everything okay where you can share this? So she's having a pretty bad storm over there.
Are you
Hopefully
waiting for me?
Yeah, there she is. Go ahead.
I can't hear. The storm is so loud.
Oh my
Can you
goodness.
hear me?
But we can't
Can you
hear
hear
we
me?
can hear you perfectly. We can't hear the storm. So yeah,
Just
go ahead.
carry on.
Oh, okay. So as an example, the company itself, we never heard of the company. So Lifewave's been around for over 20 years. They're in over 75 countries around the world. We now have business in 41 countries because we can't stop talking to them. My wife being from South Africa has international contacts all over the world. But look at the company. When they launched it, basically they went from 20 million to 600 million last year. They're basically going to be over $100 million a month in the next few months. They're going to be over $1 billion company. So when you understand opportunity, this is massive. So we didn't know the company, but they pay out 60% of the profit back to the brand partners. So the part that I love about this is that literally the amount of money you can make is significant. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So they're also #1 ranked in momentum in the networking space, fastest growing network in the entire world, which is pretty amazing. But they just won, the LifeWave won the 2025 Biotech Breakthrough Award. Now it says here, once again, LifeWave Products wins Stem Cell Innovation of the Year in 25 Biotech Breakthrough Award program. Once again, thousands of nominations from 15 different countries were nominated, and we won this. And then we've won all kinds of awards, and Dave has won all kinds of things because this product works. It's absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the system we have, the compensation, different things like that. But really, I want you to understand about duplication. J. Paul Getty was the first U.S. billionaire, and he said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And if you understand duplication, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And so it's pretty amazing. So even you look at doing this here, imagine having, say you put in five hours a week, and each of these people put in 5 hours a week. How many hours a week would you be working for you, right? It's pretty amazing. So really the most important part of this is what's most important in your life. For me personally, my family is the most important. My wife's there's God, and then family, then business, right? So my wife's #1. My children are #2. So to say, I got two beautiful daughters. They're both involved in the business, which is great. The most important part to us is spending time with our family. That's why my wife is in South Africa, getting thunderstorms all over her. Anyway, so it's amazing that is kind of cool because her whole family has been benefiting from this patch as well, which is great. But the thing is, what it came to me specifically was a word called independence. I wanted freedom. I wanted independence. I wanted to be financially independent. I was working a job that was not going well. I made a lot of money. It was great, but the management style changed from a mentorship management to a tour mentorship management. They became micromanagers. And if you've ever been a part of that situation, it's not fun. And so for the last 2 years I worked there, I was like, I want out. And thank God when all this stuff changed, my friend told me about this patch and we started making money from it. Then we started seriously making money from it. We started building the business. And within 14 months was able to replace my income. Months later, fired my job. Lily, we've got a business all over the world now. We've quadrupled our income since. So if you like that idea of actually building income, building residual income, helping people, you're at the right place at the right time. Because what this really does is creates security. So that's the part I love about this. And I'm not talking about bars on fences. I mean, barbed wire fences and bars on windows. I'm talking about financial security. How many people like the idea of traveling? Like traveling whenever you want to. Last year we spent 4 months traveling because we won like 5 free incentive trips. We won another, I think we just won our 8th free incentive trip. We're going to win our ninth actually in about probably about a month and a half because they offer all these different trips. We're talking about Greek island cruise, and we've been to Mexico many times. In the Bahamas, we're going to Bahamas actually. But we were in oh my goodness, Punta Cana. We've done all kinds of different stuff. This next one's to Hawaii. How many people like to go to Hawaii for free, right? Again, you earn it because you have to do certain things, but it's pretty cool. But even if you have the money, where would you want to travel to? If I could give you airplane tickets anywhere in the world, where would you like to go first? I tell people write a top 10 list, right? And the other thing is better health. A lot of people today are looking for better health because once again, your health is your wealth. How many people have challenges or people know people have challenges because they can't even travel because of that, right? But how about less debt also? This is a big one. How about no debt? How about zero debt? How about being debt free? So if you like those ideas, but I encourage you write down things that's important in your life and then share that with the person who actually talked to you about this, and what they're going to do is going to show you a game plan on how to accomplish those things, no matter what it is. Unless it's like, I want to hit the home run in the ninth inning of the World Series. Probably not going to happen. That's a fantasy. That's not a dream, right? So what's cool about this is really I'm going to share, there's 9 ways you can make money. I'm going to share like 3 with you right now. The very first thing is we're set up as what's called a binary. So once again, we're set up as what they call a unilevel and a binary in the network. Don't have to worry about the terms, but just know that when you get started, we're going to set you up as a brand partner. As a brand partner, you get the product at wholesale. So I said, do you want to pay retail or do you want to pay wholesale? I've never still had anybody says I want to pay retail. Everybody's like, I want to pay wholesale. So by paying wholesale, now you get the best price. But then I'm always like, would you also like to get your products for free? They're like, yeah, how does that work? Well, it's set up as a network. So if you refer people, you actually can make money from this. So you get started. And what happens here is just by you building a left leg and putting in a right leg, you now can start earning money. So what happens is that when you put in 1 right, 1 left, you basically become a 1-star manager. You put 2 right, 2 left, become a 2-star manager. Then what happens is you can make up to $1,500 a week as a 3-star manager. And it grows and grows and grows and grows to the point where you can make up to $25,000 a week in this business. It's capped there, not a bad cap, but this is only one of 9 ways that we make money. And the interesting part about this, we know people, we have people we work with that are mentoring us that have already maxed out this compensation, and they're helping us do the exact same thing. But what's interesting is how we do this, and this is the biggest part here. Just understand this. If you can do this and duplicate this, you can make as much money as you want. Because what happens is by you getting started, our very first thing to help you become a 1-star manager is you put 1 left, 1 right. We call it out of the gate in 48. Our 48-hour goal for you is when you get started, let's help you put 2 people in. This is probably your best friend. It could be a cousin, right? So what you want to do is help people that, once again, are looking for solutions, whether physically, mentally, or even financially, right? And then what happens, by doing that, you get an extra $25 a week for the first 9 weeks. But what happens within the first week, we call it basically, out of the gate in 48 and left and right by Monday night. So we put another 1 left, another 1 right by next Monday. And now we're basically helping you make an extra $50 a week for the next 9 weeks. You're also going to make money off of each of these people when they register, anything from $35 to $405 per person by helping them get registered, because that's another way to make money. So you have to worry about that, but just our goal is to help you create residual income. If we can help you make an extra $1,000 a month, would it be significant to you? Right? And those of you in South Africa, how about an extra 20,000 Rand per month? Now, what I'm talking about, the next one here is the last one here is really the one that my wife was very, very excited about. I was very excited about it too, is a mentorship matching bonus. We have a mentorship program. And as you mentor and help other people, you get rewarded by getting a percentage of their business. So what happens is it ranges from 5% all the way down to 20%. You get paid on this, but you get paid what's considered 6 levels in depth. Now, what that means is that anybody that we bring in personally. Now, I'm going to use an example that we sponsored my daughter, right? My daughter Isabella got signed up, who sponsored Rick and Heather basically, and they signed up David and Amy, who signed up Dennis and Delora, who signed up Renee and Rick Garrett, right? And they've got another couple, Rick and Ellen, they're working with, right? So all these people, we get basically a matching bonus. So the more they make, the more that we make. So my goal is I want my daughter to make 25, I want to help her do what? I want to help her, I want to help her make $25,000 a week, right? I want to help each person here make $25,000 a week. Why? Because we maximize the bonuses. You can earn up to $20,000 per person per week. I paused there because I want you to let that sink in for a second. Now again, is that going to happen for everybody? No. But what if you had 1 person do that? That's $1 million a year. What if you had 10 people doing that? I don't know. It's called unlimited matching bonus. Once again, that's the one thing I love about this is that we have people. The guy that brought me in, he's making over $100,000 a month just from this matching bonus. Now, if you like that idea, that can happen for you. You started a month before we did 3 years ago. So if you like that idea, that's what can happen for you. Now, I can't guarantee income. I wish they had a little disclosure down here. We cannot guarantee income. I can't guarantee you a penny, but I can guarantee you that if you work with us and follow the pattern for success, we can help you. Again, this is big money we're talking about, but I'm just going to go back to the $1,000 a month. For most people today, they can't go to the boss and say, you know what, I need extra $1,000 a month. That's only $250 a week. Most bosses, we can't do that. Now, if they do that, great. That's awesome. But what if you could, on the side of what you're doing, in the next 30, 60, 90 days, do that? Would that make a difference for you and your family? Are you willing to work to get that done? That's what my challenge to you is. So again, I'm not going to go through more details, but just know by comparison to a traditional business, conventional business, I got two people I met this morning at the gym. One has a landscaping business, the other one has an IT business, right? And both of them talked about the high startup costs. Once again, I talked about the low startup costs with this. And I'll show you that in a minute. It's, a few $100s, right? High risk compared to no risk. That's our business. Our business got really on no risk. We have a 30-day money back guarantee. I'm going to show you that. Long hours. They talked about how many hours they're working and everything else. I said, yeah, how would you like to make your own schedule? How would you like to have independence? Total financial independence. Would that be kind of a cool thing? Trial and error for conventional business. I've been working with business for 30 years, working with businesses. I mean, I'm talking about thousands of business over 30 years. And every single one, it's been trial and error. Most businesses take 5 to 7 years to develop a system. How about a proven system that's been trial and tested for decades? I mean, that's what we're talking about. Limited earning potential over here. I'm telling you right now, these guys are once again limited to their geography, to the area, to what they do, everything else. This is unlimited. Basically, over 75 countries around the world. They're opening up now Central and South America. Habla español, muy piquito for me, but if you know Spanish or know people speak Spanish, we're opening up Central and South America. Small opportunity there, you know what I mean? So how we get started, pretty simple, is that we get started basically, you actually now register as a brand partner. It's really 4 different packages you can choose from. I recommend the biggest package. I tell people this all the time. I said, if you want to have massive success, great. If you can only do a little bit, do a little bit. But you eventually, that every single person that's the highest rank in the business, that's what we've done, now has actually purchased either the premium or they've upgraded the premium package because they understand the value. I'm a numbers person. So again, if you like the best price, get the most amount of product, because we don't we don't get 20 sleeves for $1,750 so that we just use the product ourselves. We leverage those sleeves. Stephen G. Merritt said, what you want to do is when you get the package in and people say, I want to get started, we help them get started. If they're local to us, we'll lend them a sleeve. We say, hey, tell you what, when you get registered, I'll lend you one of my sleeves so you can start using it today. Your product's going to come in 4 or 5 days later. When your product comes in, just give me a call. We'll meet up again and you can just give me one back. Most people, honestly, they start seeing results before the package even comes in. Once their package comes in, they're like, I'm so glad I started right away. What do you think happens to your belief? It goes way up. So we call it a place and replace and place and replace. So we just started doing that back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We made this money back in 2.5 weeks because my wife said to me, she goes, you better make that money back quick. I said, yes, ma'am. And so Stephen G. Merritt said, what you want to do is start building a lot of teams, and that's what we started doing. And so what happened, we made that money back in 2.5 weeks. The very first month, we made about $3,000. So the part that I want you to understand, there's quick money you can earn on this, but it's not going to happen just by you sitting on your hands hoping people are going to knock on your door. You got to pick up the phone. We teach you what to do, how to do it, text people, whatever it is, social media, there's all kinds of different ways to do this. The other one is Advanced Plus for $975, basically for 11 sleeves, and you can do it, even the smallest one I recommend would be Advanced, because in order to make money from this business, you could be at least on the Advanced pack or above to maximize profitability. Core is just for people that say, I just want to try the product. I'm not interested in really a business, so that's fine. But anybody who's interested in the business, Advanced Plus, or Premium, whatever you can do. But there's a 30-day money-back guarantee on this. So each of these sleeves are basically normally about $100, and it goes down to the point of $87.50 when you buy the Premium, or you can pay to retail at $150. I don't do that with retail. I want to get everybody the wholesale, but you can buy at least 3 sleeves in order to do that, to get it wholesale. But that's what we recommend. To kind of wrap this up, the last thing is that this breaks it down. 3 sleeves, basically $98.33. 6 sleeves at $89. This is basically $87.50 is the cheapest price. That's what we recommend. And then setting yourself up on 2 sleeve auto ship, because that is what we recommend that you automatically do, because if you want to maximize the profitability, you want to be at least on the advanced, and basically 2 sleeves auto ship. So our monthly expenses, people, every business owner I talk to about this, I say, they say, well, what's the buy-in? What's the monthly expenses? Everything else? I said, my monthly expenses is $200 a month. They go, no, seriously, what's the monthly expenses? I said, I'm being dead serious. It's $200 a month. I get a sleeve, my wife gets a sleeve. That's it. We got to be creative in everything that we do because we have 99.999% profit. If you like that idea, let's talk afterwards, right? So again, so we do have the last part here. So we got two different parts. We got a website, thisisitteam.com, that explains the system, what we do, how to do it, how to talk to people. Everything else is all in there. The links to the Facebook, the YouTube, all the different stuff that teaches you what to do. This is like if you say, hey, I want to get a 4-year degree in business administration or how to run my own business. This is all compacted into one. It doesn't take 4 years. It takes basically, I tell people in the next 30 days, you're going to learn how to develop a multi-million-dollar business. So, and then we got This Is It Info. It's the greatest tool we have. So thisisitinfo.com is what we utilize to send people there. You don't have to be an expert. I tell people all the time, I know a lot about this product, but I'm not going to share it with you. I'm going to share the website where I got my information, thisisitinfo.com. And so really the last thing is it's your time to make a move. It's up to you if you really want to make a change. I always tell people you're at a fork in the road. You can continue going down the same way you're going right now, or you can say, you know what, I want to take a different path that may be able to get me to where I want to go. And so if you're serious about your dreams, there is really hope for your future. I tell people we're hope dealers, not dope dealers. So we want to help you to accomplish your dreams, whatever they are. As small as they are, as outlandish as they are, we can help you accomplish that. It's the fastest growing network. We got the fastest growing team within that network, and we're looking for people who are serious about helping people. And if you're that kind of person, you're at the right place at the right time. So the last thing I'm going to share with you right now is that in South Africa, and actually coming up next week, which is kind of crazy. It's just I'm looking at the time frame of the dates here. Is it next week? No, so it is next week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah. So next week, December 6th. So basically December 6th and December 7th, which is a Saturday and Sunday, they're basically putting in an academy in South Africa. So scan that code. It'll tell you all about it. But again, I want to make sure you understand. Oh, I broke it up. Sorry. But they basically broke it up. They actually have a whole training on this. Contact the people in South Africa, because Men and I are going to both be there. I'm flying in I'll be in next Thursday, and then Friday night we're doing a dinner with the top 10 people who've recorded the most people in the month of November, and then we're also going to be doing the training. So Men and I are going to be doing parts of the training on Saturday and Sunday in South Africa with 4 or 5 other senior presidential directors and above, these different highest level people in the business, and they're going to have corporates going to be there. It's going to be very, very cool. So again, that slide did not work out right. Sorry. So again, but you're going to want to scan this here, and basically anyone in South Africa, you need to know about this. It's actually in Pretoria, just a little bit. I think it's north.
No. It's in Sandton.
Oh, Sandton. Sorry.
So, but there is an Eventbrite link, so we can send that to everyone if you're interested. And if you have any guests that have not seen this presentation and that are not yet partnered with us, they come free on the Saturday morning, 6th December, 9:30 to 12:30. So get everybody, if you're talking to someone and they're just not getting this and they need to hear another voice, invite them to Saturday morning. We want to pack it out. They still have seats, but we're going to run out because I saw the numbers that are registered, and we are going to run out. So if you're planning on being there, get your ticket. I spoke with a few people today who are getting tickets for the entire event. You know what? It is relatively inexpensive, and it includes lunch for both days and all the coffees. And you're going to get all the nuts and bolts of how to build this business and everything concerning this enhanced compensation plan. So do get there. If you're brand new on here this evening and somebody invited you, get back with the person that invited you, and get all the details for South Africa. We are going to, and
Yep.
I know a lot of you in the States have South African connections, so make sure they are aware of this and get the word out, because it is actually going to be wonderful. South Africa's on the map. They're doing road shows next year because they see the growth that is happening here. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, South Africa is the third fastest growing in the whole region of Europe, and they basically Australia and New Zealand and South Africa pooled into the European region, which is very, very cool. So the last thing here is, once again, we have incentive trips. This one that's coming up for Honolulu, Hawaii. If you love the idea of free trips, this will be the 9th trip in 2 years that we'll be qualified for. So if you like the idea, we're going to be staying right on Waikiki Beach in Honolulu. I think it's going to be this place here. They still haven't announced it because they think they have so many people, they might have to get a different venue as well. But again, for those in Europe and in South Africa, also I believe Australia, New Zealand, once again, it's going to be in Budapest. So they're going to be going there in May. So from May 7th to May 11th. So if you like that idea, I want to go on this trip, but we're going to Hawaii. So we'll be going to other places. But again, this is the hotel. If you like luxury, this is like a 5-star luxury hotel. Celebrities stay there. Everything else, it is very, very well known. That's where everybody's going to be staying, and they're going to have all kinds of excursions, all kinds of cool things, and giving you cash to do stuff too, which is kind of cool. So, but again, we're done. So we want to make sure that you understand that, again, this opportunity is massive. Like Mena said, get back together with the person that basically brought you here. And then, I know, Mena, did you want to wrap up with anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for being here. And if you have any questions, please get back with the person that invited you, or shoot a message to us. We're happy to help you out. And I'm sorry about this crazy storm that went on. I couldn't even hear myself. I couldn't even hear what was going on, but it was crazy. But you know what? That is what teamwork is all about. You know, pick up the pieces when your partners can't carry on. And I'm so grateful that every single one of you made it this evening. And don't delay. You want to
Yep.
get started today, and you
Yep.
want to run for next level, because honestly, we have something so big on our hands. And I keep telling people, you know, I cannot not share this. I have to talk to them about it, you know. So I know we have our next level leaders meeting coming up.
Yep.
So those of
In
you that
10
have the
minutes.
link,
Yep.
we're excited about that. Lots of new ranks to announce. So we'll see you
Absolutely.
there.
See you in 10 minutes. Bless you guys. Have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you real soon. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye bye.